Hello students, myself Mrs. Prachi Kalpande from Pravin Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology is here to discuss about experiment number 2, that is to develop flowchart of CMOS IC fabrication from subject VLSI 22062. This is the practical significance of the CMOS. The full form of CMOS is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is a type of MOSFET, and the CMOS technology is basically is used for constructing integrated circuits. So it is widely used in integrated circuits. CMOS technology is used in microprocessors, microcontrollers, memory chips and other digital logic circuits, as well as CMOS is used in analog circuits such as image sensors, data converters and many types of communication circuits. This practical will help you to understand the CMOS IC fabrication process. There are various reasons for the popularity of the CMOS. That means the advantages of the CMOS is that small size, ease of fabrication, low power consumption, relatively simple manufacturing process and high impedance. CMOS fabrication can be done in three methods. One is P-well method, second is N-well method and third one is twin tub method. So we will be concentrating more on N-well method. So today in this practical we will understand the N-well process fabrication of CMOS IC technology. So the very first step is that to select the substrate. So if we want to use the N-well process, then the substrate should be of P-type. Then once you select the substrate, the second step is the oxidation process. So one oxide layer is imposed on the substrate as shown in the blue color. So oxidation process is done by using high purity oxygen and hydrogen, which are exposed in an oxidation furnace approximately at 1000 degree centigrade. The next step is to apply or to form a layer of photoresist. So photoresist is basically a light sensitive polymer that softens when exposed to UV rays or light, and it is formed on that oxidation layer as you can see in green color. The next step is masking. So the mask is made so that the layer which will be exposed by the UV layer will become softened and that can be removed. So as you can see, the photoresist is exposed to UV rays through N-well mask. So here you can see the N-well mask, UV rays. The next step is photoresist removal. So the photoresist where the N-well mask was there is removed. That layer is removed. You can see here by treating with the wafer with the basic or acidic solution. Then also after removing the photoresist, also the oxidation layer across around there should be removed so that the P-type substrate would be exposed. Then next is the removal of the photoresist as well. So photoresist is also removed as shown in step number 7. The next step is the formation of the N-well, as you can see by using an implantation or diffusion process. So a diffusion process is used and N-well is formed as shown in pink color. So in P-type of substrate, N-type of semiconductor well is formed as shown. Then next step, that is step number 9, is to remove that silicon dioxide layer. So that oxidation layer is removed using hydrofluoric acid. Then the next is the deposition of the polysilicon. Now chemical vapor deposition process is used to deposit a very thin layer of gate oxide. So as you can see with the red color, so the gate oxide layer is formed, and then the step 11, removing the layer barring a small area for the gauge. So except the two regions, as you can see here, required for forming the gates, NMOS and PMOS. So these two are the gates of NMOS and PMOS. As you know that the CMOS is having N type of NMOS and PMOS both in that, and therefore it is called as complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So the gate for both NMOS and PMOS are shown here. The remaining layer is stripped off. The next is again the step number 12 is oxidation process. So once the gate is formed, then again the oxidation layer is formed on that, and then by again using the masking process, and exposing it to the UV rays, that photoresist, this type of formation is done. So by masking process, small gaps are made for the purpose of N diffusion. You can see here. So the N diffusion, end dopants are diffused or ion implanted, and the 3 N plus layers are formed for the formation of the terminals of NMOS, as you can see here. So next step number 14 is oxide stripping. So after that the oxide is stripped off. The next step is P diffusion. Now as N diffusion is done, now for P diffusion, similar to the above N diffusion process, P diffusion regions are diffused to form the terminals of the PMOS, that is by masking. Then after the masking, the ion implantation is done so that P diffusion can take place. Next, step number 16, thick field oxide. A thick field oxide formed in all regions except the terminals of the PMOS and the NMOS as shown. Next step is step number 17 is metallization. Now aluminium is fluttered on the whole wafer, you can see, and removal of excess of metal. Next step number 18, the excess metal is removed from the wafer layer. Next step number 19, terminals. The terminals of the PMOS and the NMOS are made from the respective gaps. And then is the assigning the names of the terminals to the NMOS and the PMOS. So this is how NMOS and PMOS is formed on a single P-type of substrate using N-well process. So this is the N-well process flow diagram, flow chart. So here you can see the formation of N-well regions. Then is the defined NMOS and PMOS active areas, field and gate oxidation, form and pattern polysilicon, P plus diffusion, N plus diffusion, contact cuts, deposits and pattern metallization, and over glass with cuts for bonding paths. So this was all about the N-well process of CMOS IC fabrication. Thank you.